Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today. And though you've come through many obstacles.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beasts, Season 3, Episode 3. So, last time we had Mission Impossible with K-pop, as I described it in the flavor text of the video last time. But we had an infiltration and breakout mission. Kipo and the group infiltrated Amelia's boat in order to free those she was experimenting on, the mutes that she had kidnapped. And eventually, they even made a friend. Dogue, I believe was her name. The daughter of the mayor of the humans, and a fan of music and dancing. She decided to go back and stay with the humans, but agreed to kind of be their person on the inside. Supporting their cause while maybe trying to influence things a little more in their favor with the other people there, since, as we saw, they were not so quick to just accept what Kipo was saying. They were basically brainwashed by Amelia. So we'll see how that ends up going. We've got parts of an alliance working out so far, and more parts to definitely fit in. So I'm definitely interested to see how we kind of connect all these pieces and how things not only progress, but really move forward, considering, again, this is the final season. They don't really have time to dance around. They have to kind of get to the point. And so far, they definitely seem to be. We still have Scarlemagne caged up within the Timbercats hideout, so he's definitely going to come into play. I mean, that was obvious anyway. Yeah, I'm curious as to exactly what they're going to end up doing with all of this, and how they're going to end up defeating Amelia. We'll have to see. But for now, we're just going to get this started and hope for the best with the third episode of the season. So when the screen fades black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So yeah, I called that, obviously, but it wasn't that hard to see coming, because there were things that just weren't adding up. The wolf girl, I don't know her name offhand. Let me see if I can find it in the credits here. Margot, that's right. Margot was saying some things that didn't add up. We saw in the cold open that her and her brother were spying on Amelia and the other two, and we saw that they got caught. So then she suddenly shows up at the Timbercats' place, and she's basically just like, you see, I need help. My brother's been caught. You've known how to deal with Deathstalkers, and it's like things are going off in my head. It's like, wait, Deathstalkers. It's like, yeah, she knows how to deal with those, but that shouldn't be the issue here. And everything was just kind of like, oh, this is a trap. But then, as they continued along their journey along the way, you could see how she genuinely wanted to reconnect with Wolf, and how she was even enjoying spending time with her again. And you could tell that she was sorry. So it was obvious what was going to happen, that in the end, that she was going to end up turning against Amelia's plan and helping Wolf out, which is what happened. We saw that, like, they got to a certain point. She's like, "Oh, I don't want to do this anymore. So I was going to lead you to this place, and it was a trap by Amelia. They have my brother, but I'll figure out some other way to get him back." And it's like, oh yeah, exactly what I thought was going to happen, pretty much. um, so it's very interesting that we brought Margot back, because this was a very big, important aspect of Wolf's character. Her backstory gave us such a huge amount of depth to her, and explained so much about why she became so just seclusive and reclusive, actually make more sense. Why she became so reclusive and so distrusting of others. On top of it, it explained even the wolf skin she wears, being her adopted mother and everything. Even though it didn't directly say that, it's like it showed us that. And it made a lot of sense. So seeing Margot return in the first place is notably something. And then seeing that this is actually connecting to the current, and it's clearly a plot about Wolf learning to forgive her and maybe even become sisters again. And it kind of ties into forgiving Scarlemagne. It's like, this is good shit. This is really good shit for multiple reasons. It's like, I think this is going to help heal Wolf from the trauma she suffered from that day. Like Kipo and her friendship with Kipo and Benson and Dave and everything, and the others in the Alliance and all, has definitely helped her. But I still feel like she hasn't entirely changed. She's still, like, holding in all of that pain from back then. Because that's not something you can just get rid of. That's not something that can just be healed that easily. So having her kind of having to confront that trauma and even realize that there is hope for change within even something from 5 years ago, and something that she was never even before willing to change. This is going to help her a lot, I think. But then we have sort of a B plot of sorts. I hesitate calling it a B plot because it was also excessively important. So I mean, technically it was. The story, the episode was definitely focused on Wolf, but and the stuff with Scarlemagne and Kipo was definitely more of a side story in terms of its presentation. But again, because of how important it was, I hesitate to call it a B plot. It feels just as equally important to the A plot. So, Kipo wants Scarlemagne to apologize to everyone in order to help encourage them to join Hamufa. And Scarlemagne, of course, doesn't truly feel sorry. He basically shows that he could fake it, but she wants him to genuinely mean it. And to do so, she lets him out of his cage. He tries to run away at multiple points. She stops him because, let's be honest, he has no chance of going anywhere at this point. Not when she could turn into a giant jaguar. But she keeps forcing him into these positions of helping others out. Just doing this work, whether it be washing dishes or hanging out with the children or so on and so forth. And although he causes a lot of trouble and breaks a lot of shit for some reason, it's like, oh, you're breaking shit. What is this proving? What is your intention with doing this? Just to be a dick? But he eventually does start to turn, and the big turning point is when he's hanging with the kids. He's been breaking shit and throwing stuff on the ground in, like, kind of this defiant manner. But as he's about to do so with the kid, the timber kitten, they start crying, and this puts him almost into a panic. He starts trying to encourage the kitten, and it's like, you're a strong timber kitten, and the kitten's like, I am, and it's like, rawr. It's like the cutest little rawr, and it's like, and he sells it. He completely sells it, and it's like, that's cute as fuck. And he starts to play with the kids and everything. It's like, oh, I'm being chased by these children. It's like, this is actually really cute. And as we see, he does start to genuinely mean it. When brought before the groups again, the different clans of mutes, he gives this big kind of pompous speech about everything because he's still Scarlemagne. But afterwards, he does genuinely apologize. He sees how much effort Kipo has been going through for him and doesn't seem to fully understand it, but he does apologize. And we see, even after he's put in the cage, Kipo says, like, we can let you out, like, every day for a short time, and you can go around, do stuff, and help out, and things will be better. And he actually smiles at that. And it's like, we're clearly redeeming him. And this was going to happen. Last season already showed us that this was going to happen. It showed that there was a better side to him. It showed his backstory, really telling us about him and why he is the way that he is. So it's like, oh yeah, this was always gearing up for redemption with him. So he might have one more slip. Like one more notable slip. But I genuinely think this is his path to redemption here, and he is going to help take out Amelia. He doesn't like Amelia either, to be fair, so it's kind of mutually beneficial. Plus, you know, he's always been kind of on the opposite spectrum as her. She's a human supremacist. He had always been a mute supremacist, and now it's like he's kind of not leaning into that anymore, and so he's still against her, though. But it's really cool to see, like, how genuine it has started to become for him. Again, I definitely think there's going to be another slip. I definitely think it's not going to be that easy. He's definitely going to have some troubles again, and it's not going to work out exactly how Kipo would want. But my theory is that he's going to slip up. He's going to maybe go back into his old ways one more time. But then something's going to happen, and he's going to feel bad. And he's going to work to fix things. And that's when he's going to truly be redeemed. That's my theory. And if there was one thing I think I would change about how this has been done so far, and hopefully it'll be thrown in the future with the continued redemption for Scarlemagne, I think that Kipo's father should have been a part of this. He wasn't in this episode. And I think he should have been. And I hope that he will be for the continuation of this redemption. He needs to be there. That is excessively important to Scarlemagne's redemption. Because it's Kipo's parents who are basically the reason that Scarlemagne is, well, Scarlemagne. So, yeah, we need him there. And maybe even Song as well. Even though she's still trapped in the Mega Monkey, she still has her sentience, so she should definitely help out as well. And if they can somehow reverse this and bring her back to her human form, then that could be even better to help this along. But in the meantime, Wolf and Benson and Dave and Margot are in trouble. So, how is that going to go? That's the question. We will have to see next time. Tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this episode of Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beasts? Because honestly, this is definitely my favorite of the season so far. I liked the first two episodes, I very much did. But this one kind of stands head and shoulders above them. It was just really damn good for a lot of reasons. And I'm excited to see where it leads to in the next episode and even beyond. So for now, thank you all so much for tuning in. And I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See you all next time.